Welcome everyone to National Night Out 2020. We're broadcasting live from GTV6 Studios in Glendale, California, where we're going to bring you some very fantastic videos and a lot of great information, you guys. We can't be here in person to your events on National Night Out, but we'd love to be there whenever we can in this coming years to see you guys in your own events. I'm Officer Matt Zakarian. I've been with the Glendale Police Department for approximately 17 years. I work the crime impact team. We do a lot of community engagement. This is one of the things that we do is meet the community and engage in the community and go out and do neighborhood watch. That's one of our big things we do. With the COVID-19, our hands are tied, but we're going to persevere. We're going to make it through this. This is the next best thing. We wanted to really be out there, but we just can't, you guys. The purpose of National Night Out is really the culmination of bringing neighborhood watch together, the partnership with the community and the police department. You're going to hear that theme throughout the entire night. We are here to make sure that these live videos and pre-recorded videos that were, some were taped before COVID-19. However, there are some that we're all trying to be very cautious about social distancing and making sure that we are taking care of each other out there. If you guys have any questions or comments throughout the show, you can go to GPD Neighborhood Watch at glendaleca.gov. And I hope you guys enjoy the show. We're looking about 90 minutes or so. There's a lot of fun stuff. You guys stay tuned. In the meantime, I have Chief Carl Povolitis that's actually going to give us a little rundown of how the city is.
Thank you, Matt. It's hard to believe you've been here 17 years, and only 17 years. But no, you've been a long-time member of the community. Thank you for the introduction. And I'd like to welcome everybody to National Night Out 2020. Obviously, things are a little different. Well, I guess I'd say a lot different. None of us planned on starting the year out with a worldwide pandemic of COVID-19, and that's changed a lot of things. Obviously, for National Night Out, that means, first of all, we're a lot later. Normally, we would be doing this in August. Second, it's virtual. As opposed to being out in the neighborhoods, and interacting with people on every individual block, we're obviously not doing that. And I got to tell you, I miss that. Over the last several years, as individual block captains and groups have come together, every neighborhood does things just a little bit differently, and they're all unique, and it is the blending of that makes Glendale such a unique community. And I've had the opportunity to meet a lot of people as I would try to change up the places I would go to, and I would tell you that even the officers truly enjoyed going out and getting to meet folks. There's always the work that you do on a day-to-day basis in terms of law enforcement and the community work and engagement and everything that we do. But this is the one night out of the year where we actually go get to talk to people, and it's a much more relaxed conversation. And we always appreciated being invited into people's homes and backyards or front yards or block parties for a good time and a chance to get to talk about anything that you wanted to talk about or that we wanted to talk about. In addition to crime and community safety and how knowing your neighbors and working together, we have such a wonderful and a safe city. And I got to tell you, as I said, I just kind of crossed my 30th year here with the Glendale Police Department. This is truly a wonderful community, and I got to tell you, it's also a fantastic police department. And we are steeped in the traditions of community policing. So that community engagement, working with the community, is part of what we do. It's really how we as a community manage to bring things together. It is the teamwork between a community, the police department, the other departments in the city that allow us to do what we do. And that's how we build trust in the community. Policing is a very, very complex profession. We do a lot of different things. We're working with people, through some of the most difficult times in their lives. And that requires that, there be a bond of trust between the community and the police department. And I am truly grateful, and the men and women of the Glendale Police Department are truly grateful for the support of the community, a city council, and a city manager that allow us to do what we do. As I said, I'd much rather be in the block having some barbecue or, some if you knew me a few years ago, I was a bit thinner, but enjoying some of the treats that are out there. That's what I would really like to be doing. But it's also important that we keep our community safe. And we can talk about that in terms of crime, but I also mean to say that in terms of safety, in terms of people's physical well-being. And so obviously we can't do that. We need to maintain that physical distancing, the face coverings, all of those things that are important this year in order to keep all of our community safe in ways that we never imagined a few months ago. But I will tell you from a standpoint of being a safe city, Glendale still ranks right up there. We're still number 4 in the state of California for cities over 200,000. And when you look at us in the Los Angeles metropolitan area, a city that is this safe and one that really has much more of a small town feel, which is such a wonderful feeling in this community, doesn't happen by accident. It comes with a lot of work by people. And over the last few months, I can tell you, I talked to my colleagues in other cities. A lot of cities are experiencing spikes in crime. We'll say so far in Glendale, that has not been the case. Our violent crime is actually down about 5%, and our property crime is down about 1%. But that takes a lot of work, and I can't say everything is down. A few months ago, we had an increase in burglaries to vehicles. We eventually were able to identify a group that was going out. They were basically a crew or a team that was going out and breaking into cars. And with some of the challenges we face with, $0 bail amounts on some of the crimes, they were committing crimes, getting them. But our detectives persevered and ended up arresting them, and I'm glad to say those numbers are down. We are now working on auto theft, which is up, over 50%, with people not going to their cars as often, and we're finding that people are having their cars stolen more often, and this is part of a regional trend. That is something that we're actively working on. We're bringing modern technology to bear on that problem, plus good old-fashioned police work, and what everybody in the community sees. And so as I reiterate, as I have the opportunity to talk to people, you know your neighborhood better than we do. So if you do see something, please say something. That phrase really means a lot, and it is part of the team that brings us together. But I'll tell you, one of the better things, and maybe the fun things about being the chief of police, is I get to talk about the men and women of Glendale Police Department. I got to tell you, I am very proud of the men and women of the police department. They are very special people. We aim to hire the best and the brightest. We invest a lot in training. We expect a lot out of our police officers, and they rise to that challenge each and every day. As I said, Glendale ends up being one of the safest cities in California and in the nation. And as I said, that doesn't happen by accident, but we also do that with a lot less resources than some of our neighboring cities. So just to kind of give you that comparison, we work with about 1.2 officers per 1,000 residents here in the city of Glendale. That's about 1/2 on a per capita basis of what the city of Los Angeles has. Yet we are able to, provide a very safe community. And while I will tell you that the men and women who work here play a very important role in that, so does that partnership with the community. That fits into what we do. And maintaining that partnership, building that trust, building those relationships. I will tell people that in 30 years, maybe the one thing I have learned is if you ever think you're done building and maintaining relationships in a community, you are in big trouble. Communities change, people move in, people come into the job, people leave this job, and so we have to stay current with that and maintain that engagement. But I will tell you, the police officers here, they do a very, very challenging job. They believe in respectful and constitutional policing. They're out there to preserve everybody's constitutional rights and to keep everybody safe. But more than that, I'm going to tell you, not only are they working professionals, but they are working professionals that have a heart. They truly care. They care about the people that they interact with, and they care about this community. And I think that sets us apart from a lot of other places, and I am truly blessed to be able to lead those. Again, normally we would see you in person. That obviously can't happen this year. And so we're going to bring it through, we've tried to figure out how to do this, and, putting this together is not my idea. This is the men and women of the Glendale Police Department who figure out going, all right, we need to maintain that community engagement. How are we going to do that? How are we going to do National Night Out? Even if it's a little bit late, how do we engage with our community? And so we're live. Someone had to remind me that it's been about 12 years since we've done a live show. And so this is a little bit of history again for Glendale, and I'm glad to be part of it, and I'm hoping that all of you are proud to be part of that. But I really want you to get a chance to see what our police officers do and who they are. And the one thing that I would hope that maybe you take away is, sometimes, we wear a blue uniform, we pin on a badge, and we do a job. But underneath this uniform and behind this badge is a human being, a person, just like everybody else in the community. We work hard. We deal with very difficult situations, and those all have an impact on their lives, on their lives, as well as those of the people that we're dealing with. And, as I said, it is a human being, but I think you'll also see as we go through the evening that our officers actually do even have a sense of humor, and I hope that comes through tonight. So, as I said, as we go forward, you're going to get a chance to meet our officers. Unfortunately, it's in a virtual sort of way. I know they'd also rather be out there talking to you on an individual basis. And hopefully, maybe next year, we'll be able to do it the old-fashioned way, and we'll be out, block by block, talking to various individuals. But I'm also going to tell you, you're going to hear from some other people besides the police officers. When we talk about this being a partnership and communities, there are people who have been partners of ours for a long time, and you're going to get a chance to hear from them as well. And I'm hoping that, if you've been a partner with us, thank you very much. If this is the first time you're looking at this and you see something that tugs at you or piques your interest, I'm hoping maybe that will get you to give us a call or send us an email and say, hey, how do I become part of Neighborhood Watch, or how do I become more involved with the police department? What can I do to help make our community together? Because this is a team effort. This is us all working together to build a safe community. And again, as I sort of sum up my words here, I got to tell you, I'm very, very privileged to lead an organization of such dedicated professionals. I will tell you that they are very dedicated to serving this community. They are very dedicated to protecting this community. They are committed to improving the quality of life here in Glendale. And as I said, I'm honored to be able to be the chief of police for this organization and this community. But I think it's probably time for me to stop talking at this point, because I'd really like you to meet some of our community members and our officers and men and women that work for the Glendale Police Department, but I'd like you to hear it from them and not from me. So please sit back, relax. I hope you enjoy getting to know a little bit more about the Glendale Police Department, and I look forward to seeing you all next time, and I hope in person.
Chief, thank you very much, sir. I really love this job, and I love this community engagement, how we are able to go out into the community and work with our community on a day-to-day basis and really culminate that together. I want to show you our command staff. They couldn't be here tonight, but hopefully we can roll our command staff video. They wanted to say Happy National Night Out to you. Thank you.
Good evening, Glendale. Welcome to one of our command staff meetings. My name is Tim Feeley. I'm the Deputy Chief. I oversee our Professional Standards Bureau, our Traffic Bureau, and our Air Support. Thank you so much for having this event. I really miss being out there and seeing all of you guys. My motor unit especially misses going out there because they're the ones that eat all your food. So again, thank you for having this event. We really miss seeing you, and we look forward to seeing you guys next year.
Hi, everyone. I'm Captain Robert William. Like the Deputy Chief said, it's unfortunate that we can't be face-to-face, but we have to go with the times. I oversee our Detective Bureau, and our detectives typically look forward to this event because it's one of their only opportunities to actually come out and interact with the community when they're not witnesses, victims, or suspects. So hopefully we'll Zoom to this next year.
Thank you, Robert. I'm Andrew Jenks from the Field Services Division, and I want to welcome you to National Night Out. We have a really good show for you planned tonight. You're going to see some really good videos and hopefully get a feel for some of the people that work for our department. We miss being out in person to see you this year, but we really hope you enjoy the program and have a great night. Thank you.
Thanks, Andrew. Hi, everybody. I'm Cheryl Davis-Moore. I'm the Civilian Division Commander, and I oversee Administrative Services Division. Sorry we can't be out there tonight. I've made a lot of great friends over the last couple years. Enjoy spending time with you and talking, so hope to see you next year.
Happy National Night Out, Glendale. Bye.
Well, that's from our command staff. Wonderful group of people to work for. again, community policing is such a big part of this, and I just want to make sure that you guys know and understand how important it is to us in our cities and how we feel in a safe community. It really makes a difference, and I'm going to talk more about that after we bring in Mayor Agajanian. Sir.
Here. You know, COVID-19 ruined one of my favorite nights, National Night Out. The food, seeing the public, meeting with them and talking to them. I was having real fun. And this COVID-19, I have to find and punish the COVID-19, but let's see what we can do at a later time. One of the things I love most about National Night Out is how it brings residents, law enforcement, and community members together to celebrate our community and promote safety. This year, however, we know that staying apart in the name of safeguarding public health is what our community needs most. With that said, I'm glad that despite not being able to hold in-person events, we continue to keep the National Night Out tradition alive virtually. I would rather have it personally, but however, what can I do? That did not happen everywhere. National Night Out is something we have celebrated for years around, and it's about community and police together, working together, protecting each other, making sure our community is all it should be. Over the course of the last year, I have admired our community's ability to assemble for peaceful protests, to demonstrate against injustices, as well as our officers' ability to safeguard the well-being of all members of our community. While we know we have come a long way, we know there is always a lot more work to do to fight crime, to keep everyone safe, and to bring police and community even closer together. I want to thank everyone who is here tonight and those who are watching for being a part of this. I know you believe in this community, and this community is great and can be greater as we deepen our commitment to bring police and community together to make all of us safer. I look forward to next year, to working with our neighborhoods to celebrate National Night Out together again in person, hopefully in 2021, and not doing it virtually next year. However, thank you everybody for listening to me. I have to go and do my live TV program, so you will excuse me after I have to leave. So good night, everybody.
Thank you, Mayor Agajanian. I appreciate it, and your kind words to our law enforcement agencies. Our men and women of blue are very important to me. And I live in the city. I was born and raised in this city, and I plan on continuing to live in this city after my retirement. And it's important to me that our police department is such an outstanding department, all the men and women, and reaching out to the community is so important, as the chief mentioned and as you've mentioned. What I'd like to do now is bring up Julia Leeper. She's been somebody that I ran into when I first came to community policing back in 2008. She's recognized in her own community as having it locked down. Julia is a respected member in her neighborhood and leads her block captains. It's a wonderful area. She was the first person I had come across when I was starting Neighborhood Watch back up, and she really helped me out. It was really nice. So I'd like to bring on Julia Leeper.
Thanks, Matt. I know I speak for many people in our community, and we appreciate how much time and effort you have put into National Night Out. You've coordinated it, and it's just expanded over the years. But because of COVID, obviously, you had to get creative this year, and you certainly did. So I bet you didn't realize as a police officer you were going to be a producer. So at any rate, I do miss having National Night Out. In years past, as the chief said, that the police department, city council, fire department would personally visit neighborhoods, and they would discuss concerns in their area and work towards a solution together. Well, they were wonderful opportunities, and so we are just hoping that next year we can get back to doing that and continue to create safer and happier neighborhoods. The reason I've been asked to share is because I am a big advocate of Neighborhood Watch. I know there are many of you that probably don't have Neighborhood Watch in your area, and you would like to, but you don't know how to go about it. My answer to that is start small. In my case, it evolved. It essentially started off with me asking some neighbors to get together so that we could get to know each other a little better. And over the years, it expanded. And then we went around the corner. And now we are known as Sycamore Woods, and we are 8 blocks. And fortunately, I have had neighbors that have stepped up in their particular block to represent that area. So it has evolved over time. It continues to expand, and it has been a great way to get to know our neighbors. Another benefit of having a neighborhood watch is it can improve your property value. I know that there are many people, when they're looking for a home, prospective buyers, that are looking for a safe neighborhood. And a lot of times the realtors will put that in the listing, that it is a very, very safe neighborhood. So that's something to keep in mind. Also, Neighborhood Watch can take on so many different, can be done in so many different ways. You can just start it off as an ice cream social, of course, when we're able to gather again, or a barbecue. Whatever feels more comfortable to you and your neighbors. In Sycamore Woods, national night events have taken on many forms. We had a walk around the neighborhood where neighbors were serving appetizers. The 12 Oaks, where the residents would join us for a raffle, games, and prizes. Sadly, 12 Oaks closed for a few years, but has since reopened and has undergone renovations and improvements. So we have been delighted to see it flourish again. Here's a little bit about 12 Oaks today.
Hello, everyone. I'm Rose Chan Louie, Board Chair of 12 Oaks Foundation. 12 Oaks has been honored to host this event on our campus in years past, and we look forward to when we can host all of you on campus again. On behalf of our residents, staff, and families, we would like to extend a heartfelt thank you to the community and law enforcement tonight for all that they do. We truly appreciate the volunteers who make life at 12 Oaks so vibrant for our residents.
We're delighted that 12 Oaks is part of Sycamore Woods, and we were disappointed when we couldn't have National Night Out there when they were closed. However, the CV Water District graciously stepped in and has hosted National Night Out at their Glenwood plant. I bet you didn't know that they have a shaded oak-covered patio, and we've been going there for a few years. We have a wonderful potluck. We even have live music. Fun Music School would bring a piano, and some of their accomplished students would perform. It was really a lovely way to spend a summer evening. One of the other great events was a water balloon toss that often included the police officers, who had a few balloons burst all over them. The kids loved it, and it was wonderful for the community to laugh and have fun with the officers. Everyone who attended was given a raffle ticket, and almost everyone won something. And these were items that were donated by local businesses or some of the neighbors. And the block captains collected the items. So it can be as simple as an ice cream social, or as time goes on, you can expand. In our case, we would sometimes have a face painter or a scavenger hunt that the kids could enjoy. But throughout the year, the police department continues to reach out to the community through Neighborhood Watch. They invite community members to attend quarterly evening meetings where we receive training about how to respond to suspicious activity, which has reduced the fear and risk of crime, and neighbors are better prepared. These meetings are a wealth of information that pertains to everyone. There's topics such as education on how to protect our families, our homes, and ourselves in the event of a crisis. We learn about crime trends, we learn about fire prevention, teen safety, home security, identity theft, animal control issues. And that's just a few of the areas that have been touched on over the past years. But the best part of Neighborhood Watch is that neighbors are getting to know each other. They're watching out for each other. When I walk my dog, Buddy, I kiddingly say we are on patrol because we may notice if something is off. The police can't be everywhere, so we, as neighbors, provide an additional layer of crime prevention. In fact, the police department encourages community members that if we see something suspicious, they would rather have us call than say later, "Oh, I thought that seemed odd." I'm grateful to live in a city with such low crime, which is due in part to the partnership the community enjoys with the police department. I urge you to consider starting a neighborhood watch group. And please do check out the quarterly meetings. They are on Zoom now, so you can attend in the comfort of your home. Remember, start small. Who knows how many of you have neighbors who would appreciate having neighborhood watch in your area.
Well, thank you. Thanks for coming on, Julia. I appreciate it. And, you know, you're the perfect life coach now that you're retired. I'm telling you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Julia. And now we can go to some of our traffic officers would like to say hello. And we'd like to have you guys take a look at some of our officers.
Hi, how you doing? I'm Officer Fernandez with the Glendale Police Department. I've been with the department for 13 years. Obviously, I'm with the Traffic Bureau. I ride a motorcycle. I've been on this detail for 12 years. Our main issue is to make sure that traffic and the pedestrians and the whole community is safe when they drive to and from wherever they're going in our city. We have grant-funded operations that include DUI enforcement, speed enforcement, pedestrian violations, we do seatbelt violations, we're looking out for people that are on their cell phones, and a number of other things. But ultimately, we want to make sure that people are safe in our city. So one of the equipment pieces that we use in our detail is the LiDAR. This accurately depicts the speed of vehicles or any other object that we're trying to determine the speed on. And Officer Gutierrez is going to help demonstrate this. "14 miles an hour, locked him in at a distance of 83 feet as he was running away." So some quick safety tips for you guys. One, don't speed, stay the speed limit. Two, watch the signs coming in and out of businesses. You know, we're always looking for people that are violating signs, you know, making left turns when they're not supposed to. You know, signs that say no right turn on a red, don't make a right turn on a red. Stay off your cell phones. Watch for pedestrians crossing the street and wear your seatbelt. Sorry we couldn't be there in person, you guys, but due to the pandemic, we're gonna have to do it this way. But I just wanna say, happy National Night Out. Take care.
Oh, hello. My name is Detective William Frommling of the Glendale Police Department. I'm one of our traffic accident investigators. I'm not really conducting a traffic accident investigation here, just seeing what would happen in a possible accident. I've been with the Glendale Police Department for the past 24 years. I started in 1996. Part of my job is filing cases where people are involved with DUI accidents, severe injury accidents, and some just minor PDO or property damage only reports. Within the city of Glendale, we have a lot of traffic collisions. If it's a minor traffic collision where it's just a minor bumper to bumper collision, you may want to take the time to pull off the road before calling the police. That way we can respond. We don't have to worry about traffic and take care of your issue a lot quicker than normal. If it's a severe injury, or even if you're injured, you can't move your car, please keep it where it's at and we'll come and help you out. I know tonight is National Night Out. Sorry we can't be there, but because of the coronavirus, we can't go out and visit people like we'd like to do. I've had great times over the years talking to people in the community about traffic collisions going to houses and neighborhoods, and we're going to really miss it this year. Please be safe, drive safe, and be careful.
Welcome back. We're still working through our little technical difficulties, but I think we can make it through. Julia Leeper's gone now. I'm glad she came in and live in studio. Again, we have some people coming in on WebEx that we're gonna try to keep them coming in. I know that we were having a little difficulties, but let's give it a shot. I'd like to introduce Lieutenant Alex Krikorian, one of my bosses. Come on in, Alex.
Hello, everybody. Good evening and welcome to the 2020 Virtual National Night Out. My name is Alex Krikorian and I am a lieutenant with the Glendale Police Department. I'm currently the Community Impact Bureau Commander, and the Community Impact Bureau is comprised of our Community Impact Team, our Mental Health Team, our Homeless Outreach, School Resource Officers, and Downtown Policing Unit. The main focus of our Bureau is to build relationships with the community and solve long-term problems. I, like many other Glendale police officers, grew up in Glendale. The best part of my job is working in the community I grew up in and to maintain a safe and enjoyable place for people to raise their families. I'd like to introduce one of our Neighborhood Watch block captains and a good friend of mine, Aida Knur. I first met Aida when she held the position of PTA president at RDY Elementary School. Aida is very passionate about the community. She is civic-minded, and most importantly, she's a leader in her community. She has a lot to say, so I'll turn it over to her. Have a great night, everybody.
Hello, my name is Aida Knur and I'm a lifetime resident of Glendale. Just in the time that I've lived here, the city has evolved and become a diverse community. A thriving hub of activity with great restaurants, markets, bakeries, shopping destinations, and many wonderful parks, trails, and outdoor spaces. Of course, with a growing city comes growing pains, and over the years we've seen an increase in crime and traffic issues. Thanks to our great police department, I feel very safe as a resident in Glendale. They are regularly patrolling our neighborhoods and being responsive to residents' concerns. I gained first-hand knowledge of the police department's involvement in our community by attending a neighborhood watch meeting back in 2011. I found it so informative that I came home and volunteered as a block captain. I figured it was a good way for me to get out and meet more of my neighbors and also to participate actively in keeping my neighborhood safe. Over the years, I've attended numerous Neighborhood Watch training meetings hosted by the Glendale Police Department. In addition to hearing about crime trends, I've learned about safety tips, such as when someone knocks on your door, be sure to acknowledge that you're home even if you don't want to open the door. I also learned about crime prevention techniques, such as what are the most effective door and window locks, the importance and optimum location of security lights, and so on. GPD even has a vacation check service, so if you're planning to travel away from home, you can contact them in advance and have someone come by and check on your property when you're not there. It was also at one of those early meetings that I found out about the Nextdoor website, which is now such a common, well-used app for neighborhood communication and resources. Being involved in the Neighborhood Watch program has put me in contact with GPD's community outreach services and staff. When looking to purchase a new home in Glendale, I contacted the officer who was leading the Neighborhood Watch meetings to find out about crime trends in that specific area, and that officer provided some useful insights about traffic patterns and other safety concerns which helped us with our decision. Thanks to the Neighborhood Watch program, I've gotten to know my neighbors better. I keep them updated with GPD announcements, and they're thankful when I relay messages to them about incidents in the area. My family has attended the annual National Night Out events held at the local park over the last few years. We go there for a picnic, meet with GPD staff, sometimes their canines, and catch up with neighbors and friends. The evening typically ends with a family-friendly movie on a big inflatable screen and popcorn. The pandemic is bringing us together virtually this year, but I hope as things return to normal, we can go back to having our National Night Out event at the park again. I'm amazed at how much our local police and fire department personnel participate in community events. At my kids' school, we had parents who were GPD officers serving on the PTA board, others who help with school events, and personnel from the Glendale Police and Fire Department who volunteered to read books to the elementary kids on a family reading night at the school. On National Walk to School Day, where the objective is to promote pedestrian safety, we had police staff walking with the kids, a big group of students, parents, school staff, police, and city personnel as they made their way to school. Then as all the students descended on the front lawn of the school, GPD and fire were there passing out stickers and giving high fives to the kids as they went to class. These have been my personal experiences and my observations with the local police and fire departments, and it wouldn't have happened if I hadn't taken an active role in their community building programs. And because of this, I think my kids have grown up looking at GPD as a trusted community presence. I feel it's important for each of us to participate in the safety of our community by getting involved in the Neighborhood Watch program or attending a few meetings, participating in National Night Out, and continuing to support and encourage police community partnerships. I have certainly learned a lot from my participation. Most importantly, I have learned that the Glendale Police Department is a resource for the community. They are doing their job to ensure the safety of all residents, but ultimately they themselves are regular citizens, residents, neighbors, parents, with local families and friends who live in the same community that they are working so hard to keep safe. I want to thank the Glendale Police Department for partnering with the community to make this a safe city for all of us to live in. Happy National Night Out, everyone.
Thank you, Aida. I appreciate that, Aida, very much. I'm telling you, the making of all these videos was a lot of fun. As you'll see, we got a lot of surprises for you as we continue to go on. It looks like WebEx is up and working again, and we have Sergeant Zeigler here. Sarge, come on in.
Hello, everyone. Happy National Night Out 2020. My name is Sergeant Zeigler with the Glendale Police Department. I've been here for 16 years, and I've worked a variety of assignments within our department, and I now have the privilege to lead our community impact team, where I oversee some of the most talented officers in our organization. Within our CIT team, we have community lead officers, our mental health team, our homeless outreach officers, and our school resource officers. Tonight, I have the pleasure of introducing Officer Matt Zakarian, who's been the facilitator tonight, and Officer Zakarian is an experienced officer with over 17 years of law enforcement experience. He has worked diligently behind the scenes, planning and coordinating this virtual night out event. Community engagement is one of Officer Zakarian's primary passions, and I'm happy to be able to work alongside him tonight. Once again, thank you everyone who has logged on and sharing in this virtual National Night Out. Thank you, Matt. Take care.
Thank you, Sergeant Zeigler. It's a pleasure working for you, sir. And we got more good times to come. A lot of community engagement and work we have to do within our community. Not only do we do neighborhood watch, there's a lot of other things that our unit does, which is including neighborhood disputes. We have to deal with long-term problem solving, and long-term problem solving is kind of the key to what our unit is all about. Our job is to look at maybe high calls for service areas and then try to figure that out. A lot of times a patrol officer doesn't have the ability to do that because he's quick going from call to call. And that's what our unit's all about, is really looking for those solutions to long-term problems. One of the solutions is community engagement, and that is to work with the community and make us get to hear what's going on in your neighborhoods. And really it's a perception. Once you guys have developed that relationship with either law enforcement or your neighbors, it's a huge, huge perception. I'm going to talk about that, about my personal experiences later. But right now, I have Council Member Artie Kasakian waiting in the wings, ready to go.
Okay, well, now that we've gone over a little bit of technical difficulties, I want to thank everyone for joining this virtual night out. A little different than the ones we've had in the past. Unfortunately, we're not gathered with our neighborhoods. I bring you greetings from my home in the lovely Pelanconi neighborhood of Glendale. And I just want to thank everyone, both our residents, but especially our police officers, the men and women in blue who keep our neighborhoods safe, who keep Glendale the sparkling jewel that it is. The last few months have certainly been trying for all of us, the last 5-6 months, really. If anyone had told me that these were the circumstances under which I and Councilmember Brotman would have been elected, and I know Councilmember Devine had been serving before, but certainly I'm sure these last 6 months are different than the previous ones, previous years she served on. But, you know, I'm often reminded of a quote by Eleanor Roosevelt. It's one of my favorite ones. She says, "Americans are like tea bags. You don't know how tough we are or how strong we are until you put us in hot water." So certainly the last few months have tried us, have taken their toll with what's happening right now for a lot of our residents who have family in Armenia, with the war that has broken out there during a pandemic, no less, with what's happening with the economy, with some of our favorite businesses, with homeschooling and the challenges that that presents. We are going to come out of this stronger. I assure you of that. And what makes Glendale great is you, the residents. So I want to thank everyone for joining us. Hopefully next year we'll be able to see each other in person, and make sure to stay engaged, stay involved, whether it's a neighborhood watch, a community watch, get to know the officers who serve your area. And when you have concerns, you know where to find us. As a Glendale Council member, I think I speak for all of my colleagues when I say we're always ready and open and willing to listen to your concerns. Thank you very much, Matt. Keep up the excellent work. And thank you to my colleagues who help me do the job that I need to do, keep Glendale safe, as well as a council person. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you, Artie. I appreciate it very much. Councilmember Artie Kasakian, thank you. We have next, waiting in the wings again, we have one of our patrol officers. He's our graveyard officer, and he's got something to tell you and maybe kind of give you an insight of what he does at night. Let's roll that one.
Hi, Glendale. My name is Officer Stapp, and I've been a police officer with Glendale for almost 3 years. I'm currently assigned to weekend graveyard patrol, and you'll see me responding to the emergencies and instances in which you need help in the middle of the night. Some of the reasons I became a police officer is because I wanted to make a difference in everyone's lives, whether it be small or big, whether that be you're a victim of a crime or someone who needs medical assistance. I'm also a trained EMT. In addition to those two reasons, I wanted to be a good role model for my kids, letting them know that they can grow up and look up to me, and knowing that I did something to help serve a community and to make a difference. As a patrol officer, we have a multitude of tasks we do every single night. That could be responding to traffic accidents, helping somebody with a medical emergency, and going to residential burglaries in progress. What else do I do? Anyway, we're sorry we missed you on National Night Out, but we can't wait to see you around the community. And if you see us, feel free to come up and say hi to us. We might even have a sticker for you guys.
Oh, that is great. The dance moves. What do you guys think? So today we have with me Krikorian. He's an officer with our department. He's a good guy. I work with the guy. I got a lot of good things to say about him. He may tell you differently, but he's here right now to give us a shout out and just to talk about where he was born and how many years he's been with our department, where he used to work. Officer Krikorian.
Thanks, Matt. Hey, is my tight bar straight?
No, it's perfect.
Oh, thank you. Well, 2020, huh, Matt? Thank you very much for introducing me. I wanted to share some information about myself, something that I'm truly proud of. Being raised in Glendale, going to R.D. White Elementary School, Wilson Middle School, and Glendale High School to become a police officer for the city that I love, that's given so much to me. I have been a police officer now for 13 years. In those 13 years, I worked patrol for 6 of those years. I worked the burglary auto theft detail for another 5 years. And during that time, here I will share a tip that I shared with a lot of my victims, that if there is something that you don't want stolen, that you cherish, that you care about, and you're going to leave it in your car, you either have to lock your car, hide it, or take it with you. So that's a tip that I'm going to share with you guys tonight that you can take with you. After the burglary auto theft detail, I joined the crime impact team, where I've worked with Matt, and I've learned a lot and started neighborhood watch programs. And, a lot of times community members reach out to us and they want to learn from us. But the interesting thing about working in a community is the community members are there forever. The officers come and go. And if I bring up a name like Officer Sushine, everyone knows who's in neighborhood watch. They know Officer Sushine and they've worked with her. So as I became an officer in the crime impact team and starting up neighborhood watch, Officer Sushine had retired and I didn't have anyone to go to for help. Officer Zeigler obviously had the experience and was able to teach me some, but I took that opportunity to learn from our community members. And someone that I reached out to and leaned on a lot and tried to learn from is one of our neighborhood watch leads, Bill Vasquez. And he's been a great mentor to me. And I have the privilege now of introducing Bill Vasquez, who's going to talk about Neighborhood Watch and what he's done working with the community and the police department. So Bill, thank you very much for joining us, and I'm proud to introduce you to the city of Glendale.
Officer, I appreciate those kind words. Good evening, everybody. You've heard from other block captains, and you can see that every neighborhood watch group basically has the flexibility to create and develop their own unique style. As I'm speaking, you'll see some photos of some past National Night Out events that we've held in Nibley Park in the Ross Moines area over the past 10 years. As you can see from the photos, we're lucky to have Nibley Park in our backyard, and it's an important part of our National Night Out event. It always includes a first-run movie, visits from council members, from the Glendale Police Department and the Fire Department. We sponsor kids' games that are coordinated by local Boy Scout troops. We have prizes and sponsorships from local businesses and business owners. And we always have a food truck serving some great food along with an ice cream vendor. So it's a fun event for those of you that have had the chance to experience it firsthand. National Night is really just one part of the Neighborhood Watch program. In Ross Moines, we've been fortunate to have our Neighborhood Watch program in place for over a decade, and that's because of our Ross Moines Mountain Homeowners Association. We have a very active homeowners association here in Ross Moines, and I'm a member of the board on that homeowners association, and my role on that board is chairman of the Neighborhood Watch program. So as a result of that, our program is a little bit unique in that I have the ability to coordinate. We have almost 40 block captains in the Ross Moines area. So I'm basically considered, I guess, a lead, if you will, in our geographic area. And what I do is I feed crime report information and details that I get from Officer Krikorian. I get those details and I forward them to the close to 40 block captains in the Ross Moines area, who then in turn send that information out to the block captains on their distribution list and gives them that information so they're aware of what's going on there in the particular area. So basically our process functions like a large email communication tree and really allows our close-knit community to partner with officers like Officer Krikorian to help us fight crime in the area, look out for one another's safety, get to know our neighbors, and stay in close contact with one another in the interest of safety. In this day and age of so much negative press regarding law enforcement, I can't tell you how important and impactful a block captain and neighborhood watch partnership and program is in building relationships and trust with law enforcement and Glendale's police department. So I'd really want to extend my appreciation and thanks to the Glendale Police Department for everything that they do in partnering with us, for their outreach to the community, especially for their involvement with those of us that are dedicated to a very, very worthwhile Neighborhood Watch program. So happy National Night Out to each and every one of you. Sorry that we're not doing it in Nibley Park. And Officer Zeigler, I think I will turn it back over to you. Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you, Bill. I appreciate that. And Varouche, fix that tie clip. So together, you guys make up our community, and I can't tell you how important that is to have these neighborhood watch block captains and leaders in our neighborhoods. They're in your neighborhoods, Glendale, and we are here to help those block captains and neighborhood watch leaders become more productive in their neighborhood. And as I had mentioned earlier about my own personal experience, we decided after there was a burglary close to where my house is in Glendale, that one of the neighbors said, hey, you know, you have neighborhood watch for everybody else. What the heck? How come we don't have it? So I got kind of pushed into starting a neighborhood watch in our own neighborhood. And I got to tell you, the smart cop that I am, I had my next door neighbor do it. So what we did is we invited everybody over, and you know, it seems like everybody kind of knew maybe who their next door neighbor was, but nobody knew who it was beyond that. got them all together on a Sunday afternoon, had a potluck, and let me tell you, there were kids coming to my neighborhood. I had no idea. They're teenagers, young kids. It was amazing, and it was so nice to look back and go, wow, this is in my neighborhood. You know, I go to work in the morning, I come home late. I had no idea that these people were in my neighborhood, and what a great bunch of people. I'm not going to say that every neighborhood has great bunches of people in it, but you're going to find that most of them do. And I want you guys to think about that, whether you live in an apartment building or whether you live in a single family home, wherever you're at, even if you're not here in Glendale, I want you to think about doing that. It's very, very important. With that said, I believe I have Councilman Ara Najarian ready to go. Council member, hello, sir.
Hello, how are you, Matt?
Doing
great.
Great
to be here. And since I've taken over the living room, the head of the household has insisted to join me. This is my wife, Palmira.
Hello, everyone. My name is Palmira Najarian. Thank you for sharing this important night with all the neighborhood and with us.
So, Matt, when National Night Out rolls around, it's one of the most sometimes anxious evenings for me. It's anxious because we have 35 or more great neighborhoods all hosting a National Night Out event. And being just one person, you can only hit maybe 3 events and have a valuable interaction with the neighbors and the neighborhood. So for those neighbors, I apologize. In the years past, they say, you've never come to my neighborhood. There are so many neighborhoods and we can really only hit 3. But it's such a valuable event. It's really the core of our community policing, where the officers, not just police, but fire department also, can get out and meet the community and understand in an informal basis, as you said, over a hot dog or a barbecue, what some of the particular issues are to that neighborhood. And that's a time for us to listen and bounce off ideas off of each other and try and solve the issues. It's also a very important time for neighbors to meet neighbors, to come together in an informal attitude, because that's the core of a safe city, is neighbors looking out for each other, not just for crime issues. And of course, if you see something unusual in your neighborhood, you are more than welcome. You're encouraged to call our line. If it's a non-emergency call, it's 818-548-4911. But not just crime issues, issues of natural disaster. You need to know who's perhaps elderly, who's infirm, who has kids that might need some extra help. If the electricity goes out, if there's a wildfire, if there's an earthquake. So it's a great opportunity for neighborhoods to get together, and I very much encourage it. But one of the other things that I truly enjoy about National Night Out is I get to spend time with 1 or 2 police officers who are our escorts throughout the city. We have a chance to talk. We learn about their families. We see what kind of great, dedicated people they are to our community. And I'm so proud of our police department for, in the world that we're in now, with all the madness that happens in other cities, I think Glendale Police is perhaps the most sensitive and the most dynamic in all of Southern California. This week, we're having demonstrations opposing the war in Artsakh, and the police are always there calmly helping the situation. When we had the civil rights issues with the Black in Glendale rallies, they were always there making sure people are safe and there's no problems. So my hat's off to the police department. You've done such a great job. Palmira, anything in Spanish that you'd like to add?
Yeah, well, thank you for help us so much in the community of the police department.
En español.
Okay. Muchísimas gracias a todos los agentes de la policía, porque también hay los que hablan
I can
español.
speak English.
Yeah, you can speak Spanish too. Sí, señor. I speak Armenian too. So, muchísimas gracias por todo lo que hacen por los latinos en esta ciudad, y hoy que es el día de salir, pues ahora todos estamos guardados, y no porque estemos guardados no dejamos de cuidarnos y de ver uno por el otro, de ver por la familia, pero sobre todo de ver por el vecino, de ver por el anciano, de ver por el niño, de ver por el vecino que más necesita. Así que es tiempo de ayudarnos, es tiempo de estar alertas, Y es tiempo de apoyarnos y apoyar a las autoridades porque son tiempos muy difíciles. Estamos viendo que cada día se vuelve más difícil y quiero que sepan toda la comunidad armenia, los que hablan español, porque hay muchos armenios que hablan español. La primera vez que me enteré de la guerra fue porque me llegó un tuit de México, precisamente porque están muy interesados en lo que está pasando en Armenia y obviamente están con toda la comunidad armenia, también los latinos. Es que los estamos apoyando en todo esto y todos estamos unidos, no porque seamos de diferente lugar, todos somos seres humanos y somos ciudadanos del mundo, así que muchas gracias.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Councilmember Najarian and Palmera. Thank you very much, and thanks for that translation. And you did mention the fire department, so of course I couldn't leave our national night out without the fire department, but you're going to have to stay tuned for that. In the meantime, we have Officer Gutierrez here. I think he's in the wings here. I'd like to bring him in if he's not around. Actually, we're going to go to a video here, our homeless and mental health. These are guys and girls that work in my department directly as far as community engagement goes. We have these are very important people that reach out to our community in a different way. They engage our community through our homeless and our mental health. So I'd like to roll those videos. They're not bad either.
Hi everybody, my name is Officer Newborg with the Glendale Police Department's Crime Impact Team. I'm the Homeless Liaison Officer. What that means is that I handle all the long-term homeless issues within the city. Specifically what I do is I partner with resources such as our Essentia. It's our biggest and largest homeless outreach program in our city. Other resources like Catholic Charities, the Verdugo Job Center, Glendale Youth Association. And what we do is that we are trying to improve the quality of life for everybody in our city. I facilitate getting clients into Essentia where they could one day get onto their feet and become productive members of society and get a second shot at life. In Glendale, we have all these great opportunities for everybody, which makes this a great place to work and live. And I hope that you guys enjoy this city as much as I do. And if you have any issues with issues relating to homelessness, don't be afraid to reach out and call us at the Crime Impact Team office, 818-548-4015. And I may be meeting with you personally to discuss anything that you would like to address with us on the long-term side to improve your day-to-day life in our city. I just want to sincerely thank all of you for being a part of our 2020 National Night Out. And I really do wish I could be with you all at your barbecues, at your block parties, seeing everybody, all your smiling faces, but hey, 2020, we're still going to make things happen. And the reason why Glendale is what it is because of the sum of our parts. And with that being said, I really want to reach out to all of you guys, let you know if you see something, say something. Tell us about the problems that are in your community. Tell us about what you are seeing at certain hours of the day that could affect traffic, it could affect crime rates in your area, and anything that we can do to assist you. We are here 24/7 and we are only a phone call away. Again, any homeless issues that you're experiencing in your area, give me a call, 818-548-4015 at our Crime Impact Team office. And you can speak with me, Officer Mark Newborg. It's great to see you guys. Hey, hold up real quick, hold up. Before you leave, let me just see if I can beat you on a quick game of rock, paper, scissors, all right? Rock, paper, scissors. You just always gotta go with the rock, that's it.
Hi, I'm Officer Lee with the Glendale Police Department. I am the Mental Health Liaison Officer. I have a very special task of working together with the Department of Mental Health, Psychologist actually, and her name is Dr. Urquilla. So every day what we do is we ride together in this black Tahoe and we go to calls that are involving people that are exhibiting mental health crisis. So if you see this car and you see us driving around, you know, say hello to us and don't be shy. But without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you Dr. Urquilla.
Hi, I'm Dr. Miranda Urquilla. I'm a psychologist with LA County Department of Mental Health, and I am lucky enough to work with the Glendale Police Department full-time. We are the Glendale Mental Evaluation Team, and we're a part of a bigger program called the Law Enforcement Team that is throughout LA County. Pretty much all cities in LA County have at least one clinician like myself and an officer designated to respond to mental health crises.
So what if a community member is experiencing a mental illness that's not a crisis but wants resources? Do you know any good phone numbers or contact information for that?
Definitely. LA County Department of Mental Health has a helpline, and the phone number is 1-800-854-7771. 24 hours a day you can access the Psychiatric Mobile Response Team and get a hold of a mental health professional who can answer all your questions.
So that number was 1-800-854-7771?
That's right.
Awesome, thank you so much.
No problem.
Well, on behalf of the Glendale Police Department and the Mental Evaluation Team, I'd like to thank our community for being a part of this great event, the National Night Out, and to be part of what makes our city truly the Jewel City. And without the partnership and community engagement, it would not be possible. So on behalf of everybody and the Glendale Police Department, I want to thank you so much and have a wonderful evening. Busy, so what are you thinking for lunch?
Well, I know you always like to eat salads, but it's my turn to choose what we're eating today, and I want a burger.
A burger, huh?
Yeah.
You know what? Before we get a burger, folks, I do have a serious message that I want to get across to everybody. If you, your loved one, or someone around you is exhibiting an actual crisis that's involving danger to themselves, danger to others, or gravely disabled, please call 911, and we'll have officers come up as soon as possible. And if we're available, then we will respond as well. So remember, for any kind of active crisis, please call 911. For everything else, utilize that resource, 1-800-854-7771. So I thank you again, and we will get that burger. Fine. Bye.
I work with such amazing people. I'm telling you, I love where I'm at right now, and I get to see all the different things that happen within our unit and how we go out and meet with our different officers and what they do in the city. It's so incredible. There's a couple other programs that come out of our unit that I wanted to let you guys know. You're learning a lot tonight. The Calling Care program, which is a pilot program that we were actually doing to reach out to seniors that may live alone, that have nobody to talk to. We have one of our officers and some of our volunteers that will actually call this person every couple weeks to check on them. It's a program we used to do 10 years ago. We're bringing it back to stay engaged with our senior population. We also have Project Lifesaver, which is a program that was started several years ago, which helps track some of our mental health issued seniors that may have dementia or Alzheimer's, that we can help to track them. Just wanted to make sure I brought that to you guys so you knew about that. In the meantime, we have with me Officer Gutierrez, who joined the Glendale Police Department in 2013. He's a drug recognition expert, certified EMT. He'll tell you more about that. Defensive Tactics Cadre member and Police Explorer Advisor. He's the newest officer to our Crime Impact Team, and he's doing a great job. Go ahead. Tell us about yourself, and your tie clip is straight.
Oh, God. It's better than Officer Caribbean, right? Let me fix that. Well, hi, everyone. Thanks, Matt, for the introduction. Like you said, I'm Officer Jose Gutierrez, and I'm one of the CIT officers, one of your CIT officers. Let me tell you a little bit about myself so that we're not strangers. I joined the Glendale Police Department in 2013, and like all new officers, I was assigned straight to patrol, where I developed the skills to become a mature officer. I went to all different calls, thefts, robberies, burglaries, party calls, little neighbor disputes here and there. So name it, I've pretty much done it. I also, like Officer Matt Zakarian said, I'm a drug recognition expert. I'm an emergency medical technician. I also joined our defensive tactics cadre, and I'm one of the advisors for our Glendale Police Explorers. Currently in CIT, I'm assigned to the west side, so that's going to be everything west of Brand, and on the south side, everything west into Los Angeles and west into Burbank. So, if you lived in those areas or anywhere at all, don't hesitate to give me a call, email, so that we can partner up and fix any issues you might have in your part of town. I'm happy that to meet all of you virtually, and I'm saddened that we weren't able to do National Night Out in person like we do every year. But I want all you guys to know that we're going to get through this together, and we're going to be much more stronger for it. And I can't wait to partner with you in the coming year after COVID and after we're done with all this so that we can make West Side the best side. Yeah, I know that slogan's kind of lame, but I'm sticking to it. I worked really hard on that slogan all day today, and it's written right here. So, I hope you folks enjoyed that. Anyway, enough about me. I got the pleasure of introducing Paul Palmadon. He's one of our Neighborhood Watch block captains. He's going to tell you some good information about the Pelinconi area. And Paul, we got you. There it is. Take it away. Here.
So we're having a little sound issue, but we'll get there.
All right, let's see if this
we
works.
got you. We got you, Paul.
All right, I had to make an adjustment. Hi, everyone. I'm Paul Palmadon. I've been a resident of Glendale for 22 years and very proud resident of Pelinconi neighborhood. About 10 years ago, we began to organize Neighborhood Watch, and I raised my hand to be a block captain, which means that I'm responsible for the street I live on. And I took on the responsibility of two streets, Pelinconi and a little tiny street called Kellogg. And in the last 10 years, we have hosted 9 National Night Out events. Now, what we've done here is we've taken Julia Leeper's suggestion. You heard her earlier talking about her National Night Out events. We started small. We've also remained very small. Our events take place on a neighbor's front yard. And for almost all these 9 years, they've taken place in front of the same neighbor's front yard. So we have a gathering of about 25 to 30 neighbors in our immediate neighborhood, not the entire Pelinconi neighborhood, but in the part where I live. And we have other National Night Out events going on in other parts of Pelinconi. So what do we do when we're having a small, intimate gathering? Well, it changes every year. I always try to do something fun for the neighborhood. So almost every year we've had prizes. We'll do a raffle. And a little secret, everyone wins. So it's a really nice bonus for everyone who joins us. We have food. Sometimes we have had a food truck. Sometimes we've ordered pizza. Sometimes we've had neighbors provide finger food or food that they've made at home. And we really just enjoy meeting each other. And it's great to be able to do this once a year. I don't do this alone. I do this in concert with a couple of neighbors who help organize it and put it together. So it just becomes a wonderful gathering each year that we are responsible for. Very, very grateful to the Glendale Police Department, to Officer Krikorian, and we are newer to Officer Gutierrez, but very glad to have you on board as our CIT in this area, and look forward to hopefully next year when we can do an in-person public meeting here in Pelinconi. Thank you, everyone. Have a happy National Night Out. I'll see you next year.
Thank you, Paul Palmadon. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, sir. You guys having our neighborhoods are so important, and you can see how this has grown. And you can see the common theme here with all our neighborhood watch block captains, and people love their neighborhoods. They love to be in it. They love their neighbors. You know, they're not nosy. We don't ask people to be nosy with their neighbors. All we do is ask them to get to know your neighbors and make that conducive for the other neighbors and introduce them. I'm telling you, it makes the world of difference where you guys live. Like I said, apartments, houses, it doesn't matter. But thank you for being on here, sir. I really appreciate it. Next up, we have Council Member Dan Brotman, who is going to be live, I think, on WebEx. Thank you, sir. Come on in.
I'm here. Can you see and hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, thanks, Matt, and hi to everyone. Happy National Night Out. It's a little bit strange talking into Zoom land because I don't know if I'm talking to one person or 500 people. But whoever's out there, I just want to say that I'm honored to be here. It's probably the first time for a lot of you to see me. I'm the newest of the newcomers on the city council. Artie is also a newcomer, as you know, but he's been city clerk, so he's a familiar face, whereas I have been in Glendale myself just under 6 years. So for a lot of you, we haven't had a chance to meet, and it is sad for me. I was looking forward to coming onto council and being able to get out and meet people, and that's just not happening. As a substitute for that, what I would say is that I am very eager to host any kind of meeting. I had a group of neighbors from the Northwest Glendale Homeowners Association had a little backyard event, and I came and met with them, and I would love to do that with any groups of homeowners through a homeowners association or not. It doesn't matter. And I would also say that and all the council members are the same on this. Email us. We read our emails, and I will commit to responding to your email if you write to me. And very much welcome even, setting up a one-on-one Zoom. Just, if you have issues you want to discuss, or, you just want to shoot the breeze, we can do that too. So, but this event is all about, bringing the police and the community together. And as, many people have mentioned already, it's all about working together. That safety and security requires all of us to collaborate. We have a great police department. But they'll be the first to admit they can't be everywhere all the time. They need all of us to be their extended eyes and ears. People write to me a lot that saying they saw this or they saw that. They see people not wearing masks, or they see there's a party going on down the street. A lot of that nowadays, but it could be something else. It could be about somebody's dealing drugs, anything. And I ask, well, have you reached out to the police department? And lots of times, it's, well, I saw this last week, or I saw this last month, and that doesn't work, right? You've got to reach out in real time, and our police department will respond. They'll follow up on things, but they need to hear about them. And I assume that all of you that are on this Zoom call here, you're the kind of people that get that, and you're the kind of people that do that. So my ask to you would be, go and talk to 2 or 3 of your neighbors and make sure that they know who to call, and encourage them. If anything is up, just make that call. It's very easy. Even if it's nothing, no harm done, just make the call and make sure that you flag an issue while it's happening. Don't just post something on Nextdoor complaining, that there was a loud party and nobody did anything about it. It's your responsibility to help our police department do their job as good as they are. And I also wanted to maybe follow up on something that Councilmember Najarian said. He talked about some of the protests that have been going on, and I did want to mention that when we had our first Black Lives Matter protests, I actually went up. It was in Montrose, and I huddled with some of the officers that were kind of, they were talking about what they were going to do, what's their strategy, how are they going to deal with it. And I just want to share that I loved the attitude that I heard. And the attitude was not, we're going to lay down the law, we're going to show them who's boss. The attitude was, we want to protect people's right to exercise, their First Amendment rights. We want to make sure that people are safe. Yes, people are out there blocking intersections. They don't have a permit. Technically, they shouldn't be there. Could they be chased away? Yes. But that wasn't the attitude. The attitude was, let people blow off some steam. As long as it's safe, it's all good. And I was very proud that was the attitude, because, anything else, any kind of show of force would have just, put us into a place where, LA and other cities have been. And we don't do that here in Glendale. So I want to thank the folks at Glendale Police Department for that very, very smart and thoughtful approach. I think it just reflects who they are and what they do every day. So anyway, that's enough. Hope you enjoy the program. Again, reach out, get in touch. We can do a Zoom call. I want to meet more and more of you. I hope to stick around for a while. So it'll be good for me to know who I'm representing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilman Brahman. So you guys, we've got some great videos lined up here coming forward right at you. Going to go back to back to back. You guys are going to get to see a lot of great stuff coming up here. So we want to make sure you guys are ready. Ready? Let's go. Let's play air support. Let's see how our air support looks.
Well, hello, Glendale. We know National Night Out's different for you guys this year, but for us over here at the Air Support Unit, nothing much changes. We still fly over the city every day. We're up there responding to calls, trying to be the first ones on scene. If there's a lost child at the Americana or at a park, looking for that lost child, helping our fire department if there's any fires up in the hills or lost hikers, trying to find them so people don't have to go traipsing through the hills and we can find them quick. But we're there. People speeding down our streets, we see them all the time, and we direct our patrol guys to come out, and because that helps keep you guys safe. But we're there for you guys, so when you see us up in the sky, feel free to wave at us anytime, and we'll try to wave on back even if you can't see us. So have a great National Night Out, Glendale.
Welcome to 2020 National Night Out.
We truly miss being there with you in person, and we wish we could be. But we can assure you that our partnership with the community will continue one way or another, and we will work together to get through these difficult times. Hi, and welcome, citizens of Glendale. My name is Officer Vlad Akopian. I'm a Glendale police officer working as a school resource officer at Hoover High School in partnership with the Glendale Unified School District. I'd like to begin by saying that I started this job about 7 years ago. And when I first started it, I wasn't sure where I was heading. And then I quickly realized that working with our local youths in partnership with their parents and administrators and schools has been something that I've truly wanted to do. And being able to do that for the last 2.5 years has been an amazing journey for me. I've made friendships, I have met students, I've mentored students, I've talked to teachers, I've talked to administrators, as well as Glendale Unified administrators, in coming up with ideas for safety, for better education, and most importantly, partnership with the community. Alongside of that, I am also a co-director of a program called STAR, which is Students Trained as Role Models. This was a program that was established over 20 years ago in partnership with our community and law enforcement. I'm proud to say that a good friend of mine is John from the Parks and Recreations Department, who is a co-director of this program and has done amazing things for this program.
Hi, my name is John Malakian with the City of Glendale's Community Services and Parks Department. Here today to speak on the collaboration with the Police Department and a program called STAR, which stands for Students Training as Role Models, where we work together to help Glendale Unified School District students from the ages of 9 to 14 get accustomed to discipline, making sure that they're taking care of their homework, that they're going on field trips and special events for working hard. They get rewarded by showing up every week, learning good habits, good behaviors, and by doing that on Saturdays, we take them on field trips to special events and things of that nature. We also work with the police department on a program called Teen Night Out, where they come in and do presentations to help kids with how to become a police cadet or how to behave on social media, whether it be cyberbullying and some of the other topics that may come up. We also collaborate with the police department and the Unified School District to bring students into STAR. So they will refer the kids normally, and then between PD and Parks, we'll get together and figure out who belongs in the program and who doesn't.
Our number one priority is obviously to keep our campuses safe for your students. On top of that, we mentor and we look to help them develop character skills that will promote success as they enter into the community as young adults. I am also in partnership with Officer Krikorian, and we have the Teen Police and Partnership Program with Glendale Unified. And what we do with that program, it's 8 weeks long, and we work with parents and students to make sure that we can help them build a skill set to be successful. We also do Teen Academy during the summer, which is a program designed to bridge the relationship between law enforcement and our youth population, and it gives them an introduction into police service and what we do in the community. Lastly, I'm also the Explorer Coordinator, which is a youth program for students age 14 to 17 that are interested in careers in law enforcement. I think our primary responsibility on our campuses is to ensure safety of our students so that they can maximize their educational success. I think the one important concept of what we do is building rapport with our students, because it's necessary for us to build that safe community within our campuses, working with our student population. We also have Teen Academy, which is a summer program, and that program in and of itself is to bridge the gap between our youth population and introduce them to the organization and what police service is really about. Thank you for joining us, planting the seed of partnership. Hope, love, community. Thanks for joining us.
Hello everyone, my name is Explorer Nicole Rochard. I'm 17 years old and have been part of the Glendale Police Explorers program for a little over a year now. I partner with the community through this program as we help volunteer in the city, and we learn the details of how to become part of law enforcement. We volunteer through delivering trees to the needy or help when traffic patrol and other volunteer works. Hi, my name is Flor Silva and I am 16 years old. I am a part of the Glendale Police Explorer Department. Many ways I partner up with the Glendale police officers and the community is by volunteering in Cruise Night and by volunteering at the Kiwanis Duck Splash, which raises money for charity. Thank you for joining us and happy National Night Out. Hey, why do I not have my badge?
You want to get your badges? You gotta do this. No, but in all seriousness, if you want to get your badges, and if you guys want to learn more about the Explorers program, go join gpd.com.
Hi, I'm Officer Knur with the Glendale Police Department. I've been employed as a police officer for about 15 years now. I've been on a SWAT team for almost 5 years now. The way I partnership with the community is by being a member of the SWAT team. It's an ancillary duty for us, so I'm actually a patrol officer that has SWAT team duties as well. One of our main pieces of equipment is a Bearcat that you see behind me. It's an armored vehicle that we use as a rescue vehicle. Obviously it's bulletproof, it can resist up to a 50 caliber round. We can deploy off of it, lights and sirens. We can actually use it to put out fires if we need to, and there's a full medical station inside. So the equipment you see behind me is our new shield. It's used to protect us in an emergency situation. As you can tell, it's big and heavy, but it has a very good function. We haven't deployed it yet, but hopefully we never need to, but if we need to, it's available to us. Another piece of equipment that we use, or a couple of them, is the robots you see behind me. We use those to go into a home to check to see if there's anybody there before we enter and make sure it's safe for our officers. They both have different functions. As you can see, one has an arm that can turn doorknobs and open doors. This smaller one has a function where it can go over stairs and clear other obstacles. So we utilize both robots pretty often because it keeps us safe and it keeps people inside the home safe. So again, thank you guys for participating in National Night Out. Sorry we can't be out there with you guys. With that being said, I'm kind of parched.
nothing when we turned it off. Now it clicked when we turned it off, and it clicked on or off again.
Right. Good evening. My name is Grant Michaels. I'm the president of the Glendale Homeowners Coordinating Council, representing the neighborhoods of Glendale. The partnership between National Night Out, Neighborhood Watch is obvious. The neighborhoods of Glendale are the recipient of a lot of that effort, and it is appreciated. Would have loved to have been with everyone tonight. I enjoy going to the National Night Out events. I'm very fortunate to have very good block captains in my area that put on a very good evening. I will be missing the camaraderie and getting a chance to talk with everyone, as well as some of the food and treats that people bring, and the obligatory water balloon toss to cool everyone off. This year, we've had to come up with new ways to reach out to people in a virtual environment. I look forward to seeing everyone next year in person and expanding that relationship. Have a happy National Night Out.
Next up, we have Council Member Paula Devine. Paula, come on in.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Matt.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you for this great evening. National Night Out is of course to create police and community partnerships, and I always look forward to this night. It's always so much fun. I love meeting all the people, going out and hearing all the good things that we've been doing, and suggestions and comments, and even sometimes complaints. But it's always worthwhile. It's always fun. I try to get north, south, east, and west when I'm traveling around on this night. But for whoever is out there watching, we'll get through this, and next year we'll be able to enjoy the evening together, I hope. I hope the other thing I want to say is that this has been such an informative night on so many levels. I think, isn't it wonderful that you got to meet so many of our officers and to learn what they do? And how can you go away from this evening's presentations without seeing and noting how much our officers care about this community, like what they're doing, love what they're doing, and they do it so well. They're well trained, they're well disciplined, they're just great people, and I'm so proud of them. And because of the leadership in our Glendale Police Department, and of course with the support of council, it's no wonder that we are like the 4th safest city in California. We just have an amazing police department. And tonight we got to see and learn about all of the different jobs and duties that they have. And of course, the fact that they look after all of us, seniors and homeless and the mentally ill, and try to stop the speeding and the traffic violations. And, they're keeping us safe 24/7. And we have to be very thankful for them. I want to say that I can't remember what I wanted to say. We have to get to know our neighbors for so many different reasons, just to take care of each other. I want to mention that because of this pandemic during the COVID, we have asked our police department to go above and beyond duty. We have asked them to take on so many different responsibilities, and they have responded in the best of ways. And we all need to thank them for that. So I hope that you've learned a lot tonight. I want you to remember that council and staff, the police department, our fire department, we have a fantastic fire department as well. We're all here for you. We're here to keep you safe. I'm listening to you. Anytime you want to email me, you all know that I am listening, and I will respond, and I will try to help you or get you the help that you need. So I just want to say, be safe, wear your mask, social distance, and thank those police officers and firemen out there that are keeping us safe from fires, safe from danger, just keeping us safe. We have a wonderful community. We have wonderful neighbors. So enjoy. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to staff, GTV6, IT. Matt, thank you for hosting. It's been a great evening. And we'll see you next year out in the neighborhoods. Thanks. Good night.
Thank you, Councilmember Devine. I appreciate that. Boy, you said fire department like 3 times. Wow. So you know what? You called me out on it. Let's watch a video from the fire department, huh?
Hi.
Everybody loves the fire department.
Hi, my name is Sylvia Alonzos, and I proudly serve as the Glendale Fire Chief. Today, October 6th, National Night Out, we wish we were with you out in our community like we normally are. But unfortunately, due to COVID-19, we're having to stream this virtually, as today is normally a day that we proudly interact with our community and our police department, like we do each and every day throughout the course of our duties. Our fire and police department work closely each and every day. The Glendale Fire Department runs 20,000 calls each and every year. That averages to about 50 calls per day. About 70 to 80% of those calls we are running with our police partners. We take pride in the work that we've done to build the model relationship between police and fire departments. Our police department is one of the only police departments in the nation who has trained EMTs. Each of our police cars carries AEDs, and we partner with them in both the response and the training of those EMTs each day. Our relationship in the Glendale Fire Department and Glendale Police Department is the model that should be used across the country, and we're proud to have that here in our community, the great community of Glendale. So although this year is a little different for National Night Out, we want all of you to know that we are committed to your safety, we're committed to your well-being, and we're committed to making this the best place to live, visit, and work. So on behalf of the entire Glendale Fire Department, we will see you soon. Hey guys, let's get to work. Rookie left his pants here.
Where are my pants? Someone called Glendale Police. Someone stole my pants.
On behalf of the Glendale Fire Department, we just wanted to say thank you for tuning in to the National Night Out. And although we only do this once a year, our promise and our commitment is for the Glendale Fire Department as well as the Police Department to be there for you every single day. Thank you.
I love those guys. They're so good. That was a lot of fun making that, and I think they had a good time too. And we do work seamlessly with the fire department. And I tell you, we banter back and forth and joke that, you know, they like to play volleyball and they sit around and cook dinner all day long and while we're out in the streets. But we love them, and we couldn't do our jobs without them. And I'm sure that they feel the same way. It's really, really a good relationship we have with them. And they were so kind enough to make that video. I have a special guest, somebody that wasn't on our list until just later. However, it looks like we're going to go straight to Amanda Merlot. Now, Amanda lived in the Glendale for the past 7 years with her husband and 2 kids. She really enjoyed getting to know the Glendale community, and you know what? She ended up having her daughter, and she ended up staying home with the daughter, and that's how she got involved in Neighborhood Watch. And we met because she's up in the neighborhood, and I conned her into becoming a block captain. I conned her into helping out other block captains. I actually think she was a block captain before that. But Amanda, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for putting together this evening. So I actually haven't been involved in the Neighborhood Watch program for that long, and to be honest, I really wasn't sure what to expect when I went to that first meeting, but I've really been so impressed with how it has really helped establish a connection with my neighbors and with the police department, and wanted to share a couple things that stood out to me over this past year. So my neighbors and I mainly communicate with a group text where we check in every so often and say hello. And it's really simple, but it's led me to get to know a couple of neighbors that I probably wouldn't have had otherwise. And early in our COVID lockdown, it was especially nice to have that connection and to be able to check in with each other and share information. And also around that same time, there were some rumors going around in our texting group about robberies and COVID scams and other scary things that were happening. And that's when it really became apparent to me how helpful it was to have Officer Zeigler there as a resource to us. And I was able to ask him if there was anything different going on in our neighborhood or anything that we needed to be aware of. And he happily answered all of my questions, as he always does, and gave me the information that I needed to share with my neighbors. So it's so easy and seamless and really helped us all feel safer. And also earlier this year, before COVID happened, I learned about the home security inspection program at a block captain meeting, and I scheduled one for my house. It was really helpful and informative, and the team that came answered all of my questions, and they even played with my daughter when she was there. And then shortly after that, my daughter was with her grandparents, who also live in Glendale, and they ran into that same team that was doing an inspection in that neighborhood while taking a walk. And they actually recognized my daughter. I wasn't with them, and she was only 1 at the time, and they stopped to say hello to her and to my in-laws and give her a sticker. And I know it's a small thing, but to me, it was just really important and showed that connecting with people and with the community was really a priority for them. And so when I went to that first meeting way back when, I thought, maybe I'll end up getting to know a couple neighbors a little bit better, and that would be it. But what I ended up finding is that there's really something about the Neighborhood Watch program and this department that makes this big city feel small, and I think that's really special. So thank you to the police department for all that you do.
Well, thank you. Caught me texting, huh? I'm not driving. So we have Amanda, thank you so much for doing this. I know I put the pressure on you to do this, and I think it's important because I think that you bring a great perspective to this. She works for another city, and so we collaborate with things that the city she works for does, and it's very interesting how other cities work when they're community policing and so on and so forth. So we have another guest that I'd like to introduce. Hopefully he's ready to go. I think that we had a little technical issues. Let me know if he is. If he's not, I think so. Sir, are you ready? Senator Anthony Partantino. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. It's great to be here on National Night Out in Glendale. It's been said by a number of folks tonight that this is an event that brings the community together, which is so important. And at the end of the day, Glendale may have over 100,000 residents, but it really is a small town. And I'm just pleased to be here. And I'm so glad that 12 Oaks was mentioned, because that's usually one of the national night outs that I stop by, and was on the board of the organization for a while. And it's great to see them acknowledged. So I just wanted to wish Glendale well tonight, the city council, the community, the police department, for coming together and sharing a good, positive spirit of community. And thank you for letting me be part of it. And everybody be safe, wear your masks, social distance, be safe. And behind me is a photo from ArtSoc. And obviously we want to send our prayers to what's going on in Armenia and ArtSoc as well. So everybody, God bless, and have a great night tonight. And thank you.
Thank you, Senator Partantino. I appreciate that very much, and that's a beautiful picture. Thank you again for joining us. We have another guest that is very important to me. She's a good friend, and I want to bring her on. She's a secret right now, but I'm going to introduce her so it won't be a secret anymore. Yasmin Beers, are you here?
I'm here. Hi, Matt. Hi, everybody. Thank you for extending the invitation for me to join you all this evening. It is an honor and a privilege, as always. I think we've all talked about many of the things that I wanted to touch on, but I will say that, as you all know, once upon a time, we kept our porch lights on. We opened the door even if we didn't know who rang the doorbell, and we could always leave the back door unlocked during the day. Every year, the goals for National Night Out are the same: to heighten crime prevention awareness, generate support for and participation in local anti-crime programs, and strengthen the neighborhood spirit and police community partnerships. And I think time and time again, we have heard that from all of you this evening. National Night Out would not be the same without the great community support that we have in the city of Glendale. And having participated in National Night Out for many, many years, and meeting many people from all parts of the city and its participation, it has always been awe-inspiring for me to see that type of participation. You know, it doesn't happen by chance that Glendale is the fourth safest, city in California. We're also the fourth largest. And the sixth safest in the nation. That happens because of the strong partnerships between the Glendale Police Department and the Glendale Fire Department, as well as local partners such as Glendale Memorial Hospital, Adventist, USC Vertigo Hills, GUSD, GCC, to make this all a reality. It's all of the partnerships that we have in place. Thank you to Glendale Police and GTV6 for hosting this year's National Night Out virtually. Despite not being able to gather in person, it is very odd to speak into a computer when you are used to being at Nibley Park. You are used to going to different places, parts of the community. Each year, as Councilmember Devine mentioned, we all try to go to all parts of the community, and I invariably hit 2, maybe 3 areas because I stay and I talk, and I see new people and see old friends, which is always a wonderful part of National Night Out and those partnerships that are in place throughout the years. So it's an important event because the more information and interaction that we all have with our community, as you all know, aside from the interaction we have with each other on a daily basis, we can create this trust and continue to build the bridge that I think is important for all of us to understand what policing is and what it's all about. I will say that Glendale is unique. The virtual National Night Outs not happening in every city, and we are unique. Some cities are doing it, but of course we are one who will continue to try to connect and build partnerships. And of course, we were going to do this virtually. And Matt, my hat's off to you for putting on this incredible program that has been super educational because it brings everything under one umbrella for everybody to understand what the Glendale Police Department does, as well as a smattering of what the fire department does. And I had no idea that you're all comedians. I would say you should all stick to your day jobs, and I do mean that tongue in cheek. So as a 37-year resident of this fabulous premier city, the city of Glendale, and a 33-year employee, soon to be retired, it is a pleasure and an honor to be here, and I thank you all for your continued partnership. I just will have to do it from this end in terms of my neighborhood, and actually may have the time to figure one out in my own neighborhood. So Matt, thank you for asking me to join you this evening. My love to you and Cheryl. I can say that now that I'm retiring, and all the best to everybody who's here this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Yasmin, and good luck to you in your retirement. Looking forward to starting those barbecues back up. Thank you. So you guys, I'm going to close it now. We have a limited amount of time. And I know we went way over. I know we had some technical difficulties. I know that that brought us up. I know that the fire department came late, but nevertheless they did come. And one thing I did promise, I don't know if you guys have that, but kids love trucks, and I had promised Amanda Merlot that we would play a trash truck. Here we go. Oh, you guys, that's so neat. We all love trucks, right? I mean, but anyway, I want to make sure that I close this out and give you guys a serious note that you know, our men and women out there in the Glendale Police Department care about the city of Glendale. And I got to tell you, a lot of them live in this city, just like myself, and that we are very, very deep rooted into making sure that our city is safe. And looking at the different programs that we have, you saw a lot of different officers got to do a lot of different things in this department, but what comes down to is that they are still police officers and they would give their life for you. And I want you to know that's what we're here for, and that's why we signed up for this. I want you guys to remember that we are going to be doing some more things through the internet virtually. Open houses will be coming out. They are going to be starting to send out videos to you guys. You'll watch MyGlendale on YouTube. There are some other bureaus that you haven't seen yet, and there's a lot of interviews that we're doing to really let you get to know who we are. Whether you're a neighborhood watch or not, it's a very, very important thing to know who your police department are. And you know that we're a handshake away, we're a phone call away. Obviously, some issues, if you don't know, you don't want to call 911, you can call the non-emergency number, 818-548-4911, or you can call our office, the community policing offices. That's 818-548-4015. With that said, I'm going to close this out. I want to thank everyone for being patient and showing up today to watch this, and anybody that didn't have the opportunity to watch the whole thing, remember, you can go back to YouTube under MyGlendale and you can look for this video and you'll find it there. You guys, by the way, our next introduction to Neighborhood Watch is coming up. Let's see if I can find that date for you. I believe it's going to be on November 13th. Give us a call. We'll sign you up for it. Thank you. Have a good night, Glendale.